of agree with their concern, or do you see something that they're missing from NoTechies?
Yeah, there's definitely some dangerous things about their lineup for sure. They are going to focus on the laning stage ideally. I mean, Enchantress typically does do very well in terms of stabilizing your early game, but when the team fight aspects come, they're absolutely right that Team Spirit's lineup is just easier to initiate. Clockwork's going to disrupt things. You're going to have to deal with Mars ulti, despite having a bunch of ranged heroes, and so things are just going to be a little bit worse for them. And typically Void Spirit offlane is, it can be good, can be very effective, but it also has some weaknesses in terms of team fight output compared to typical offlaners like Mars.
Sure, and sort of overall, you know, this decision from NoTechies to drop down the Morph, is this something that you consider Spirit's lineup's going to be pretty well kitted out to deal with? Like, how hard is it going to be for this Morph to pop off?
Well, I mean, Morphling is going to have the potential to get burst, to do some burst type stuff, but they've got Banish for saves. They can use Clockwork to counter-initiate for saves as well, so his laning stage should go relatively good, but Mars will probably just get like one Bulwark, so he won't have to worry too much about being out-harassed and out-traded. So I guess the laning stage should be okay for Morphling, but those later stages against like Troll and OD can be a bit swingy, depending on how well they're backing each other up.
We'll see. So the lane setups here, of course, Solo is going to be heading down bottom to keep Crystallize protected down here in this duo lane. And then up top, as you said, sort of the offlane Void Spirit, it can mean that you lack sort of certain elements down the line. I mean, how's the lane sort of going to go off? You know, is he going to be able to pressure this Troll early, or is Yatoro going to not really be too fussed about what he's up against?
If it's like small skirmishes, Void Spirit will be fine against Troll basically, but in terms of like fights to the death, I don't really see Void Spirit killing the Troll Warlord. CM certainly very vulnerable, right? Like you can throw her in the air, toss her back, and then also do an Aether Remnant, so which is a lot of movement on CM side. So killing CM is certainly very doable. So as long as Mofosha has decent laning stage, this won't be too terrible for Spirit. I think Troll will be able to get his farm, and I don't think he's necessarily going to have to leave this lane either, because dodging, all you got to do is dodge the Aether Remnant, right? So at least pre-level 6, I think he's going to be pretty safe in this lane.
Well, let's see how things are going on in this mid matchup for now. Toronto, Tokyo against Aegon. Pretty even on the CS for now. How do you imagine this is going to go down? You know, between sort of the Decrepify and the Blast, is Aegon going to be able to get an edge, or is Toronto, Tokyo able to sort of use the Astral to match what the Pugna's getting out of this lane?
I like the Pugna pick to match up here, because obviously a hero like Void Spirit's going to take a lot more damage, but Pugna has options like this. He can use Blast, he can use Decrep to prevent his opponent from getting last hit, so he has some counterplay basically. When he hits 6, obviously getting a long duration life drain is not looking very good, because he could just be banished in response, but at least his lane up until then will be relatively straightforward, and he's got all this magic damage to help counteract the fact that OD has really high armor.
See down bottom, nice little setup there from Solo. He's able to slow down so bad, allow Crystallize to chase and get the kill. Same time up top, Malik. He's into the trees. No point in dissimulate yet, of course, so they're able to slowly run him down. Zayat's trying to do his best to keep him safe, but he cannot keep Malik alive. As both teams getting a kill for the carry here in the laning stage.
Looking pretty... I guess in some ways I like it better for the Troll Warlord here. He killed the offlane versus a support. And also, Void Spirit, because he's not a typical offlaner, is going to struggle a little bit more to stay here if Troll gets like 1 or 2 more kills. So, got to be careful for Malik here. Yeah, Pocha classically just has great positioning, so I don't really see him getting going into any kind of feed here.
No, for sure, and he's still got a lot of regen to pop through 2 mangoes and pretty much a full stick, so the spam's going to continue to come out from Miposhka. And as we can see on the CS, Malik definitely suffering the most right now, as he is the bottom of the CS on the cause. See down bottom, Sobab. He's going to look to set up onto Solo. The arrow, so the spear comes in, of course, from Collapse. And Solo is trying to stand his ground, but the battery assault damage, it's enough. Crystallize, can he get some kills in return? Collapse, trying to get out of it around the trees, but Crystallize will find him. So another kill here for the Morph, as the team's happy to brawl down here. But can't help but feel that Crystallize, he's going to be the happiest right now. I mean, 3 minutes in and already having 2 kills on the safe lane Morphling.
Yeah, he's and unlike last game, he's gone for a fast Wraithband, and now there is a Boots coming for the Morphling. So slightly different build than we saw when with V-Tune playing Morphling last game. But this is going to give him nice mobility, and basically he's going to be able to offset the movement advantage that Clockwork has, and therefore be able to like punish more normally. So he'll be a little bit more lane independent as a result with these first couple kills. Lane still looks dead even, basically. A little roaming from Rubik, but
yeah, Zayas
on both sides.
Did come in to see if he could get the courier snipe, but Spirit were prepared for it, and likewise for the move there onto Toronto. Tokyo also very much ready for Rubik to try and make that sweep in. As he'll head back up towards top here to just make sure the Malik's going to be safe and no dives are going to occur between Poshka and Yatoro. And sort of...
Malik, I was going to say,
yeah.
You went for the fast earn. I'm a little like, it's obviously great on offlane heroes most of the time, but if you're not getting kills with it when you buy it this early,
sure.
It can be a bit of a struggle. So unless they get a snag here, Malik's going to continue getting pressured pretty hard.
Yeah, as you say, definitely going to see if they can try and get Miposhka, but already Malik, he's the one getting gone on. Yatoro and Miposhka running him down. Has now got the point into Simulate, actually going to go back in aggressively over towards Miposhka, but Yatoro's able to slow him down once more. Malik pops the pulse. Miposhka trying to get into the trees. Can he keep himself hidden? Malik and Zayas, they're hunting for him. Zayas, he's going to get frozen. Miposhka's still alive. Finally goes down. Malik does manage to grab him there with the Remnant. So we'll get him those charges. Yeah.
So necessary there. That's 800 HP now, so he gets a full heal out of it. Or he'll save one here, unless we see another... Okay, very wise for Yatoro to rotate over and grab that.
On that bottom. Collapse. He's able to take Crystallizer's courier. May lose his life for it, though. As he's trying to juke. Crystallize actually off the mark with the waveform, but Solo, another slow, comes into play. It's another kill for this Morph. You know, Crystallized 3 kills now in the safe lane.
He's super happy. Morbid Mass finish halfway to Treads. Yeah, he's good luck laning against him for the rest of this laning stage. Gonna be rough here. And so Solo's really picking the Enchantress, definitely paying off here. It's justifying all of these Morph kills, and even if they have some teamfight issues in the mid game, if Morphling's far enough ahead, he's just not gonna care too much.
I mean, and when it comes to those sort of fights in the mid game, who do you think Crystallize is going to look to morph into the most? Like what sort of OP morphing can there be this game?
Mars Spear is excellent. Mars combo is generally good. Switching into OD would be nice too. Can always protect himself or other people with the Vanish. We'll fight top though.
And Malik again getting gone up, but this time Airgon's there with the backup. Straight away blows up Yatoro, turns over towards Miposhka. A smooth move from Airgon with that haste rune. Coming straight into the top and well needed as well for NoTechies, as they were starting to suffer and a few times losing some lives. Airgon able to keep the trade in their favor.
Perfect rotation there. Troll's just a little too weak to decrep, as we talked about. Yeah, he can get eggs later, but right now, very vulnerable to what Pugna offers. So haste rune, the perfect rune to get that kill.
And we see it. The way the mid lanes continue to go down, it's just been continued. Free farm between the two of them, 40 for 4, 38 for 9. Both heroes getting equally the same amount out of the lane, and Toronto Tokyo, he's going to have that hammer done. So we'll see what sort of setups he can get going, see what movements they have coming over, if they want to try and put the pressure onto Airgon, or if Toronto Tokyo wants to try and make moves onto the carry.
Yeah, this is a pretty crucial moment usually for OD as a hero, is that the moment you make Meteor Hammer, you definitely have kill potential in almost all heroes. And Pugna is definitely also vulnerable here. You give yourself a mana increase. He's got a huge percentage of mana, which is good and bad, right? Gives more int or more mana to OD, but Pugna's total mana pool is also really high, so the Sanity's Eclipse doesn't do a huge amount of damage. But if they get a rotation here, get a Pugna kill, that could be really big. This could force Pugna to just spend more time jungling right now to try to avoid this timing window, or to wait until he's got somebody to like sit behind him. Because the hardest counter to this OD Meteor Hammer build is after he banishes somebody and starts channeling, you just interrupt the Meteor Hammer, and then OD starts feeling really bad as a hero because you're missing out on like what, hundreds and hundreds of damage from the Meteor Hammer. So sit Rubik behind the Pugna when they go for this kill. They could absolutely turn that around, decrep OD and kill him afterwards. So they've got some options, but Ergon just has to be careful not to feed away a death here. And then OD should start to fall off a little bit compared to what you normally expect out of him.
Let's see who's going to be the first to sort of make that move here. Top lane. Malik averaging on levels. He has hit the 6, so he's got a lot of damage output here with the burst of the Astral Steps. Remnant down. Miposhka will be found here. At the same time, though, Yatoro getting the root up. Alex still with the step ready to jump back out to safety though. So he's away, making sure that they keep that pressure on his 2-1-2, getting some good kills now, and of course keeping those earn charges up, so increasing his potential to make those moves and have that additional damage.
Yeah, and this is maybe one of the nicest things about offlane Void is that you can easily blow 2 Astral Steps every time for a kill, because it's less of like you need to stay alive, stay vulnerable in the mid lane. So that pick off, and now his recovery from the rough-looking first couple minutes is looking really solid.
See Solo and Zayat trying to see if they can catch Yatoro. They're gonna try and lead in, but underneath the tower, a little too far for them to dive any further. They're not too sure of what backup there may be on the way. Towards the mid, Toronto Tokyo was trying for the setup there with the Astral, but couldn't quite get in range as Ergon plays it smart, keeps his distance.
Super wise. With Clock here too, like channeling Life Drain is just not looking good. Maybe he can trick him into this with Hammer being used. Maybe Pugna will go forward and they can get a grab.
He's keeping it safe, Ergon, playing just on the edge of that cast range. So Toronto Tokyo can't quite grab him. And now he's even got backup Malik also nearby in case anything was to kick off around the mid lane, but doesn't look to be the case. Yeah, so bad, realizing he cannot quite get in there. He's going to look to turn his efforts elsewhere. Top, Solo, he's just come in. He knows Yatoro's trying to back up and find some safe farm in the jungle. Him and Malik making sure that Yatoro doesn't get that sort of space at all. And yeah, as soon as pressure's in, Yatoro, he's just going to move himself to the other side of the map.
Very good that they're playing in this area though, because it's playing in the enemy jungle like this gives you really good flexibility. You can gank the safe lane, you can gank the mid lane, so it's going to force OD to play just a little bit more safe, maybe spend a little bit more time jungling than he'd like. And again, if he doesn't get any of these kills, the hero ends up feeling okay, but not as incredible as other top meta heroes. So if he's spending time jungling, maybe OD doesn't feel very strong mid game.
I see Malik. He's looking for Imposture, and he's found him. Extra firepower here from Crystallize, as Crystallize continues to rack up the kills. 10 minutes in, dominating, and starting to put some heavy pressure onto the tier 1 tower top. At the same time, of course, bottom lane, Yatoro and Collapse. They're also trying for the tier 1 as well themselves. We'll see if either team wants to come in for any sort of defense. It looks like Spirit won't do anything about the top tower at all. And it looks like on the other side, NoTechies the same to be said. Mid lane, that's where NoTechies is going to make the aggressive move, though, straight in on Toronto Tokyo. And of course, a lot of magical burst here between these 3 heroes to get the kill.
Yeah, this pivot for the last pick here on NoTechies has really paid off. Grabbing the Pugna mid gives them the decent matchup. Void Spirit looks a little bit rough the first couple levels, but Malik's playing great. Yeah,
and immediately onto So Bad as well. As they've got the setup, that extra burst, perfectly timed, coming out there of the stolen Astral. As they're looking pretty hot so far. 11 minutes in, NoTechies taking the mid-tier 1 tower as well. Of course, that all-important tower.
That's really big. Yeah, especially because, again, OD's pressurable here. This gives them more avenues to initiate and go find those opportunities. They're going to have great vision because of Enchantress creeps and stuff like that. So if they just constantly keep an eye on their opponents, they should be able to outmaneuver them. And one thing that, despite NoTechies not winning a series, one thing they've done really good is invade. They're consistently organized and together. Solo's got them under control and puts them in the right place on the map. And with this advantage, it's looking pretty solid. Morphling rushing for an E-Blade here. He's going to be one of the team's killers. And it's pretty good with a Pugna when they're affected by Decrep and they get E-Bladed as well.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if they don't get saved by OD, people are going to get blown up.
Yes, they are going to have a pretty extreme amount of burst, which is definitely going to lead to situations where if Yatoro does want to step up to the fight, he may have to be a little preemptive with the use of the battle chance. Otherwise, he's going to get 100 to 0s. And of course, the state at the moment, of course, Yatoro, he needs more time. He's trying to get his Battle Fury done before he even thinks about getting involved, and even then, he'll probably want to get the second item done on top of it. So still a good amount of time here where NoTechies can really keep up the pace, and this morph's just going to be much more ready and able to fight and have so much more impact before the Troll's quite caught up in it, as in is at the same point to fight.
Yeah, kind of an interesting skill build by him too. He went 3-2-3 skill build. Helped him take the early tier 1 tower bot, but now just opting to run between camps and kill neutrals. He knows what his game looks like here, because he's not going to be able to lane too safely anymore. So just needs to be able to jungle as much as possible while NoTechies gets ready to go for kills.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, because NoTechies there just hunting across the map. The four of them. And yeah, crystallized that first hurdle. It's pretty much complete, just 100 gold away from the Eagle Song. This is going to be a super quick E-Blade in a game, as we say, that this E-Blade is just going to carry so much value for the amount of damage that they'll be able to get down onto Team Spirit's heroes. As Team Spirit, they're going to try and push this tier 1 top. Malik's going to come over. Looks like NoTechies want to try and see if they can hold this.
Killing Morph is pretty hard here for Spirit, but they go in.
Well, not so bad. Off the mark with a hook shot there. Won't quite be able to grab Malik. He's going to sort of leave himself behind it, trying to distract NoTechies from chasing for more. But NoTechies, they're going to be able to kill him and continue to chase on. TP out from the two of them, though, will keep them safe. No TP cancel here between Airgon and Solo. Still good hold from NoTechies, keeping the tower up, getting a kill, and continuing to sort of force Spirit to play into their hand.
And they didn't even lose that much for this. Morphling shifted from Ancient, so he was already here. He just knows he's not very killable here, unless his opponents like get a blink on Mars maybe, like blink stun him before he starts morphing. But other than that, like Team Spirit's gonna have a really rough time ever killing him, so he can just play max greediness level here, while his team is just across the map doing smart stuff.
Yeah. And when you sort of look at the lineup of Spirit, is it a lineup where it was expected for them to have a bit of a slower start? Do you sort of look at this mid OD, this offlane Mars, and you would kind of want to see more from them in this early stage of the game?
I mean, the core matchups just weren't very good in the end, right? The Pugna versus OD kind of goes back and forth, so that among other things. And they didn't really crush Void Spirit as hard as they could. And Enchantress, also really, really strong laning hero that already made the Morphling, who had an kind of okay lane, even better. So it's like, yeah, maybe you can expect these things. They're not that out of the realm of possibilities based on the draft screen. And then afterwards, like, ganking Pugna is certainly one of the things they wanted to do. They wanted to kill Pugna lots in the mid lane, but 5 minutes has passed since that moment, and Pugna hasn't died yet. He's 3-0-2 now. He's got a Force Staff, Arcane Boots, and a Veil of Discord. So he played super safe. Got Force Staff, and now their gank options on him are just not really there.
I mean, they'll find themselves a Rubik here, but Zayas was sent on a pretty wild mission to try and get the bounties. He knew the probability of him dying there was going to be very high, so not too much of a loss here for NoTechies.
Yeah, OD's playing from behind slightly, 0-1 and 0. His net worth is still good, but look at this threat. Like, it's not super safe to channel Meteor Hammer here. And now because Pugna is no longer killable outside of getting like Mars ultied, as long as he does not get like Blink Mars ulti, he's going to be pretty safe also.
I'm see with the scan up top, they know that Collapse is around here. See if Malik wants to try hunting into the trees, as Collapse does have a TP available, but yeah, Malik is going to find him. Ends up walking straight into him. The setup's there with the Yules, and just look at that burst damage. Amped up by the Decrepify. He disappears within a second.
Yeah, that was a lot of damage. Level 4 Dissimulate, earn damage, Resonant Pulse. Didn't even have to use Astral Step, just got a little lucky finding him in the trees, but they'd scanned him about 20 seconds earlier. He had nuked the wave, so they figured he was going to keep playing there, so nice grab for sure.
We see Toronto Tokyo, of course, just queuing up the BKB. He needs it. These cores are going to get completely blown up. With that magic immunity, and especially as 16 minutes in, we do have it, the completed E-Blade on Crystallized mid lane. A move to be made onto Zayas. Malik's going to be in with the backup, but Matt won't be able to save Zayas. Does turn aggressively onto Toronto Tokyo. Malik takes him down on his own. He's ready to start forcing back the CM. TP out for the clock will save him, but the Yules control for Malik, buying time for potential follow-up. Team Spirit, though, have also got backup inbound. Collapses around.
Oh man, this is so rough for Team Spirit. This is a necessity BKB on OD, and you saw the exact circumstance of that last night.
Oh yeah.
He gets a decrept. It wasn't a solo kill by Malik, but it was a decrept plus the normal damage of Void Spirit, and that was more than enough to make his life hard there. So he's going to get BKB, so that doesn't happen again, but like, it doesn't accelerate OD being effective. Normally you go like Meteor Hammer into Fast Blink. That way you can start setting up this Meteor Hammer combo. I don't think we've seen a single Meteor Hammer hit a hero yet. And that's going to make the hero not feel good.
I think we haven't really seen a Meteor Hammer on a hero. I think we've not even seen really an arena either from Collapse. They just haven't found the chance to use it. They're going to smoke up and try and make something happen here. Coming in around the Roche pit. But Malik, he's already got the setup onto Collapse, and boom! Collapse is gone. The sanities will be dropped, but not really a significant amount of damage whatsoever. As NoTechies are fine, they'll just turn over towards Toronto. Tokyo, he's going to be dead as well. Sucked down by the life drain, but Poshka also going off. As this game, it looks pretty hard, Purge, for Team Spirit to do anything about this. As NoTechies, they're just getting far too far ahead.
I mean, yeah, the smoke breaks. The Observer Ward spotted everything that they wanted to do to approach, and killing Mars, that's by far the strongest team fight hero that they had on the Spirit side. The one thing kind of going okay is they still do have a Battle Fury Troll, but his net worth does not compare to Pugna's and Morphling's. And Pugna's one of the best mid heroes in the game for accelerating things. It's like, good luck defending your towers against Blast.
Well, here we go. They might find Aegon this time round. Arena's dropped. They've caught him.
That was great. Killing him works, for sure. And he used Decrep already on Troll Warlord, so pretty much perfect circumstances for the counter initiation. But his net worth is still stupidly high. He's got a Blink Dagger now, so he'll be able to position even better when he does these initiations.
And we're seeing Crystallize. I mean, his farm just coming in so fast this game. Him and Aegon remaining in that top spot. BKB just about a Mithril Hammer away for him. And, well, of course, as we've talked about, you know, the BKB is very much essential for Spirit's lineup. Likewise for himself. He gets this BKB, and there's going to be very little ways that the Spirit can kill him unless they get a sort of perfect hook shot into the Troll being by his side and pummeling into it.
Very tough. And he's got Growbow too, just going to amplify the magic damage that he does to his opponents. Might swap out for the Band Brace. Nope, he's going to stick with the Growbow. Wants to do as much magic damage as possible. Looking at smoke here for NoTechies. They want to keep the tempo up. Crystallize should be able to take this tower by himself. It's not too common to do it by yourself at this stage in the game, but they just know that he's got so much damage and he's unlikely to die. They don't even need to be there, so they're going to try to get a kill mid while Collapse thinks they're busy.
There we go. Quick setup and...
God, every time.
Anyone they find is just evaporates. There is no chance whatsoever. I mean, you see 1,800 magical damage coming out in an instant. In literally less than a second there when amped up.
This is the power of the Veil Decrep. Before Veil got reduced in numbers a bit, it would basically increase all the damage you do by 2. So you'd get 100% more magic damage. And it's not quite as high right now, but all it takes is, you know, one other magic nuker. And man, even Strength here is getting blown. It doesn't have any magic resistance yet on Mars. So that's part of it, but yeah, it's really hard for them to survive in these nice movements. So NoTechies just outmaneuvering their opponents.
Well, they certainly are. Tier 2's starting to be taken. As yeah, that's the second one they've found this game here. Some very quick objectives being found. And yeah, Crystallized, that's the BKB complete. So he's going to be feeling very sort of free and able in these fights to go in however as he wishes, without any sort of worry of Team Spirit being able to turn and collapse onto it.
Now the mid tower gets pressured. Gotta deal with Nether Ward. Gotta deal with nukes. So hard. Pugna classically actually one of the hard counters to OD due to Nether Ward reflection. I mean, you're spending a lot of mana to cast Arcane Orb. It's 20% of your current mana pool. Well, the more his mana continues to go up, the more damage he's dealing to himself. That's why another reason BKB is so necessary here. Again, it's an item that just protects him a bit and actually get him ahead.
Yeah, for sure isn't necessarily going to give them the power to kill these cores, as Malik trying to set up onto the CM. Defensive Astral will buy some safety from Aposhka, but as soon as he's out, he's taken down.
Up the glimmer from the Clockwork, but just not possible for it to be faster here. Mars getting some farm on the other side of the map at least, but now that focus is gone from the mid lane, now he has to run away again. He can't even get into his own jungle knowing his opponents are there, so I wouldn't be surprised to see him just get out after this one camp. Just terrible position to be in for Team Spirit. This map control and the Morphling this far ahead. It's got about 2,000 net worth on Troll. It's something at least. But Troll getting a little close to Ags. That's one good thing going for them. 2,000 gold until that's finished. That will give him some ability to remove Decrep, remove E-Blade, that kind of thing. Take fights. Still's going to be taking insane amounts of damage though. No BKB anytime soon for Troll. So even if he can dispel stuff, he's going to have to be fast on his fingers to press battle trance.
Absolutely. And I think one of the things that he's definitely going to have to worry about the most, and something that's almost certainly going to come into play each of these fights, is if Zayats is able to just grab an Astral, right? I feel that's going to be one of the strongest ways to deal with the Troll, because he can't dispel that once he's in the Astral imprisonment.
That's a really good point, yeah. And another thing that's going to make Troll ulti look bad, Void Spirit just finished his Agnum Scepter.
Oh
so,
boy.
Yeah, he's going to have 2 silences that if he uses it early enough, it doesn't matter if you spin, because you can't. You just got to be silenced, possibly bursted. They're going to do a smoke on the Spirit side, TPing back Troll, roaming over. Clock in a sit position. This is good, unless he gets spotted. Still hard, though. Would have to tuck into this little tree. They go on.
They're going to get the jump on Malik. Can they get the Spirit? Yes, they can. Straight down. He comes into the combo. Malik down. They'll see if they can maybe catch something else. So bad. Scouting forward with the Rocket Flare. No hook shot, though, for 50. Solo, he's going to try the Shadow Amulet into the trees. They've got him, though. Straight in with the Spear. The smoke pays off. Spirit able to sweep around and pick them off one by one there, the two of them. As NoTechies weren't quite prepared for them to come in from that angle. And we saw, Malik standing on the ground. I think he was almost prepared for the smoke, but collapsed just a little too quick with that Yule's initiation and catches Malik off guard.
Yep, maybe didn't anticipate the timing of his blink Yules. Like Mars had a rough laning stage, but now his network looks okay.
Now he's going to find step onto another collapse as he catches Zayats. And again, Zayats, he also without any team around by his side. But one dodge the neutral creep there, gets pushed in by the cogs. And there's a tip over to So Bad there for collapse, at least getting to see the funny side of it.
That also would have been Odie's first kill of the game as well, but it got stolen. So, yeah. I mean, either way, Collapse definitely doing a lot to get his team back into this match. The fact that he didn't die too many times in the laning stage, got his Yules, got his Blink Dagger, and that's what allowed them to even have a chance to kill the Void Spirit here. Because no matter anything else, without having both Yules and Blink, I don't think there's a way Void Spirit doesn't react in that last engagement. So they get a kill on the map, but it wasn't necessarily against the most important heroes. And Crystallize still 6-0-1. But at least their net worth is semi-comparable on the Spirit side. This gives them hope that they can continue this path if they keep getting these pickoffs. Even if OD might not be the best carry this game, or the best mid hero this game, eventually he's going to have some really powerful items, Blink, Sheepstick, that kind of thing that will give them more tools. So they just got to keep buying time, get pickoffs here and there.
Again, NoTechies trying to do their best to really limit the amount of the map that Spirit feel strong in. I've seen Spirit do a good job of dewarding their half of the map, though, as right now pretty much all the NoTechies ops have been removed off their half. Still, the map also looking quite dark for themselves, as they also haven't quite managed to get vision out here.
They're scanning, anticipating the smoke in, but it seems clear. NoTechies is pretty comfortable playing slow for a bit of time. Most likely just waiting for Roche to come back up before they want to force any major engagements, especially with the crucial items that Spirit has right now. They cannot be too careful with throwing the next fight. If it happens, you're going to see Team Spirit get a lot of map control. Let's see a fight, though.
Oh, Yatoro! Oh my goodness, he's gone! The first to walk in, and the first to quickly get sent back. So bad he's going to try and TP out. He's not making it away. And Malik, he's not even done. He's continuing to chase. He's got the setup on him. And Poshka stolen hook shot from Zayat as he flies straight in. And Spirit getting heavily punished for what I guess was just sort of an awkward way for them to try and lead themselves out of the base there, having the troll on the front lines.
I think NoTechies took the gas off for so long that Team Spirit got a little too stagnant with realizing how much of a threat there is on the map. In that case, it was an instant stun and an E-Blade combo. And just all it took was that one stun, that one Rubik lift from Zayek, and that's a dead carry. Everybody else tried to run for it, but they were still too close. And now they get Roche on top of that. It's a great couple of minutes here for NoTechies.
Yeah, just continued clean play from them here. Very, very solid. And in a matchup where, this is definitely one of the tougher teams in the league, expected at least, Spirit being one of the invited sides. NoTechies so far this game making very, very, very solid work of it. As we see there again, yeah, Yatoro tries to get the lead in, but as you say, as soon as he's caught out by one disable, he just gets taken 100-0 so quickly. We'll see what the move is going to be now from Team Spirit as they continue to fall further and further behind. And Crystallize with that Aegis and that completed Skadi. Level 20 on him as well, keeping himself a solid 2 levels ahead of anything over on the side of Spirit's team.
Skadi's going to be so good. The slow against range heroes is incredible. It's really tough to play against, especially if he's got BKB. So if he gets on top of OD, outside of like OD banishing himself, it doesn't matter if you're BKB, you're still going to be slowed. So it's a huge timing window for a team fight viability on Morphling's side. And Butterfly afterwards would be perfect. Yeah. Same thing. It's a perfect time against OD. He can't hit his attacks. Troll is going to have issues with it as well. So just being ahead on Morphling here gives him so much ground to just control team fights. And he got the Titan Sliver. Oh my god.
He so did. Perfect. I mean, that's, as you saw that, but pretty much works out as like an instant like plus 40 damage at least, right, with the percentages in play. And of course, all the other benefits are insane.
One item grab. And he's so confident, he's just going to come hit a tier 3, and this team is nowhere close because he knows.
Yeah. Oh, down bottom. So bad. He's found the catch onto Zayat. I'll see if they're able to get this. They are. They drop the sanities down onto him. Looking now over towards Malik, but Malik's got backups. As Crystallize and Solo head across, Toronto Tokyo is going to put the BKB, but at this moment in time, the right clicks for Crystallize are too much. Toronto Tokyo is trying to run, but Crystallize just takes him out with the right clicks. Back over in the river, Yatoro's trying to fight up, but the burst is too strong. Triple kill for Crystallize. A Spirit, they just cannot fight this.
I was so pathetic watching like OD try to get away from the Scotty, dude. 50% movement speed slow against range heroes, like the BKB, he just is crawling away the whole time. And that one tree bought him seconds, but he needed a lot more trees than just one to get out of that. What a completely decisive fight.
I mean, it's going to cost them at least one set of racks here. Maybe even more. As they've got the catch on him, Eposhka underneath the tier 4s. They try and save himself with the Glimmer. It's just too much damage. There's nothing that they can do to protect one another from this aggression from NoTechies. Mibrack's taken straight up towards the top. No buyback on Yatoro or Meposhka. Toronto Tokyo back in for the defense, but as we've seen, it's just been such a rough game from him. 1-4-1. He's just not been able to achieve much at all on this mid-OD this game.
Yeah, I think this game is a perfect representation of how to beat OD. You can't give him a really good matchup, if possible. You can't let him get these like hammer kills that are very viable once the hammer is finished. And if you avoid that, then the game is going to be pretty straightforward in terms, assuming that your like other carry matchups does well and matches up okay. So just the main things, the early game. Don't let him win the early game. Don't let him get kills, and then he's just going to look like a really mediocre mid hero.
It's certainly looking like that this game. As just in comparison, NoTechies cores, Crystallize still yet to have died. 11-0-3, flawless play from him, and even Airgun. He's only died that once when, you could have sort of felt it when he got caught out down bottom. Was feeling pretty relaxed because of the state of the game. Other than that, 7-1-11. Mid lane, looking for the jump in onto Solo. Get the spear connection. The backups coming in from the rest of NoTechies. They're trying their best to at least kill the Enchantress. Will be able to burst through him with the rebuke. Jump forward from Malik with a dissimulate. Burst down so bad. Solo buying back. He's ready to just finish this off for the rest of Team Toronto Tokyo, having to use the BKB to just run away.
Now they'll just push bottom, I assume. BKB's forced a little bit on both sides. Pugna doesn't have his, but they've still got the Aegis, so time to go high ground.
Yeah, I don't think there'll be anything holding. NoTechies back here. Yeah, as you say, this is just the dream timings here for Crystallize. He is so fat right now.
Their best chance to get something good is they're gonna spot Mars for sure. All right, yeah, now they can.
Oh, yeah, Zayat, he's able to find him, leads him with the telekinesis straight down into the Ether Remnant. Malik jumps across, keeping the silence upon them all. Yatoro having to back right out as he's burst down to pretty much his death. The arena's going to be dropped, but there's no follow-up. Crystallize in position, waiting for Collapse to come out of the Astros. They kill him off. Malik diving up into the base. There'll be a buyback from Collapse, but he'll have no arena for this hold now. Sanity's dropped down, but it isn't enough damage to get any of these kills. Malik able to simply jump away. A Spirit just cannot punish any of them here. Even with the 2 buybacks coming into play, they get nothing.
You can keep going. I think that Aegis goes away, but Crystallize actually really needed mana. Get a grab here. Good advantage.
And Malik, he's going to have him though as soon as he comes out of it. Remnant down, so bad, dragged down into the clutches of Crystallize.
Fuck.
As Yatoro, it's just so much. Again, Toronto Tokyo trying to do his best, offers some moment of safety here with the Astral, jumps in place of the Eve Remnant to try and protect the Troll, but Yatoro still ends up going down. Toronto Tokyo is going to put the BKB, but Crystallize, he's got the physical to take him out. GG is called. 31-10, 33 minutes in, 24K lead. NoTechies